Boys from County Hell is a brand new Shudder original, and it is an Irish flick and also a vampire movie. And I'm not a big vampire fan, but when it's done uniquely, I typically am more fond of it, or at least give it more of a chance. And this one does do that. I there's something about this that I've never seen before in a vampire movie, or maybe almost any horror movie, which is really, really cool. And as I said, this is an Irish film, and this is set in this town where the Bram Stoker's Dracula story was supposed to have been derived from, or lend some inspiration. And there's these road workers. It deals with this small, tight knit community where everyone knows each other, and these guys are building a building a highway or something, a road, and there's this rock thing that supposedly has some connection to Dracula or vampires, and when it gets disturbed, this lets out an evil. Um, this is a horror comedy, and it leans. Well, I guess it's 50-50. I guess it's 50-50. I think the blend is pretty good. Um, Now, the opening scene was the best thing for me in this film because it was so jarring. It was like, whoa, what the fuck is happening? It was very intriguing to me. I don't want to spoil it what it was, but it really did kind of unsettle me just for a moment. I was like, whoa, whoa, what the fuck is happening? Like, yeah, it definitely did its job. It did a good job of setting the stage for this, because it immediately makes you go, okay, what is that? That was creepy. That was scary. That was kind of unnerving and kind of haunting. So that's cool. And then it gets into these characters who are supposed to be likably unlikable or something. Like they're pranksters, and they take these tourists out and play this shitty prank on them, and they're at the bar and they're just fucking about, and who knows what they're doing with their lives. And this guy has a very, let's just say, tumultuous relationship with his father. There's a very, very funny scene. Kind of reminds me of something that happens in the first MCU Spider-Man film, between him and his father, when he thinks he's going to do something that he's not doing. That was pretty funny. And I think there's really fun moments. I think that there's good gags. I think that this overall, there's good to it for sure. And at the end of it, I liked it. It was pretty good. But I did feel some disconnect, I have to say. That was my kind of biggest gripe with the film, and maybe multiple viewings. And honestly, it could be a language, or well, I should say not language, but accent barrier, because I did have to throw subtitles on. I was having a hard time putting together what they were saying on my own. But I don't know. Even in the end, okay, so there's an end scene between two characters at a bar, and I don't know. It felt underdeveloped, and I was sitting there like, I feel like I should know more about these characters and know more about this character's relationship. And that's kind of the point of me mentioning that specific scene, is that's just kind of an indicator for everything in the film, because that's like one of, if not the last fucking scene. I think it's like the scene before the very last scene. And these are two, major characters, and I was just like, I should be connecting more to this, because some of the things they were saying to each other, I still was kind of like, I don't even really know what's going on. I don't, I could put it together. It didn't hook me. It didn't connect with me on the character level. And although they can be funny, and there was some funny moments, and they're likably unlikable, as I had said, there, I guess there just wasn't a great connection between the characters as much for me. Outside of the main character and his dad, there was some good stuff there. Um, I felt like the characters needed to gel better for me to connect more to the situation. Was kind of my gripe with the film, but the film, as I said, does have fun stuff about it, and I enjoyed the watch. I enjoyed the watch, and I laughed a few times, and there were some cool things going on that as I said, I'd not seen in the vampire subgenre, and there's some funny and good kills here and there. It's not a super gory movie, but it does feel unique to the vampire subgenre, so I liked it. And if you're like a huge vampire fan, you might have a different experience than I, but because I'm not really a big fan of vampire movies, and I felt like this one did play it a little different, that immediately kind of sold it more for me than most people it might. So I don't know, but yeah, it's it kind of reminds me of like Get Duped from, was that this year or last year? I think that's this year, like early this year. Maybe it was last year, but it was an Amazon original, which I loved. Kind of had that same feel to it. Young kids with accents are dealing with some crazy shit, and it's supposed to be, their reactions are supposed to be funny, and I just found Get Duke to be much more funny than this one was. But overall, yeah, it's good. I think it's worth a watch. Check it out and let me know. Adios.